So moving on to uh, Netflix drop 01, their anime live stream event where they talk about all their not all their animation stuff, specifically their anime and anime adjacent stuff. Um,
Right.
First, we're gonna start with Devil May Cry, which was announced here at this. I forget when I don't have these in order. I just put them in my notes. And yeah, it's
Right.
animated by Studio Mir, the Korean animation studio behind The Legend of Korra, and
Nice.
executive produced by Adi Shankar, the who's also the executive producer of Castlevania, the anime series.
Nice.
And yeah, Hideki Itsuno, the creator of Devil May Cry, is supervising. And there's no disclosed release date yet, but I assume you saw the trailer, or teaser as it was.
Yep. Sure did.
And yeah, the animation wise, it looks incredible. I like the Dante design. It looks like a mix of literally every single one of his designs except maybe the second one, even because his design in the second game is one that most people consider to be the best. They might be saving that one. But yeah, it looks good animation wise.
It does.
Based
It
like
does.
based on a little bit we have, we see the pistols he's using aren't ebony and ivory. So
Ooh.
this likely takes place before Devil May Cry 3. And also this isn't like canon with the games, it's its own separate universe. So don't expect it to be like in line. But I don't there's a weird thing where I don't know why people when something gets adapted always assume off top it will for some reason be related to the thing it's adapting. I'm like, no.
Right.
I like that's never my first assumption. My first assumption is always it's its own separate thing that's that's taking not inspiration but adapting it in its in a different way rather than being within the exact same universe and either telling the exact same story. Like I never assume that. I always assume it's its separate like alternate version of the story. And
Right. Like how
that's
Automata did it.
yeah, and that's what this is. Yeah, I'm excited to see more. I've been wanting another Devil May Cry anime for a while.
Yeah.
We saw a trailer for Captain Laserhawk, a Blood Dragon remix. I said it before. This show is not what I expected it to be. The because when it was first announced, it all we knew was that it was based off the Far Cry 3 DLC Blood Dragon, which is heavily inspired by 80s sci-fi and action movies, and I expected this to be following that story, which is very fun and campy. But
Right.
instead, this is some weird mashup of various Ubisoft characters in an 80s sci-fi universe. It's not what I expected, but it does look fun, and I hope it's good. It's described as a VHS full of lasers, video games, and a frog assassin. It's time to join the revolution with Dolph Laserhawk and free the citizens of Eden. From Ubisoft and Adi Shankar. It releases on October 19th as well. Interesting.
Nice.
Uh, Blue Eye Samurai um, is described as a stunningly realized new animated series from Michael Green, who wrote on both Logan and Blade Runner 2049.
Ooh.
Um, Two excellent movies. And Amber Nozumi is coming to Netflix on November 3rd. Based on the trailer, which I assume you saw. Um,
I did. I did. And it looks
it's
really good.
yeah, it's about a woman samurai who was conceived through sexual assault and is seeking revenge against her father, which is very interesting.
Very much so.
Scott Pilgrim. They showed a little teaser, a little clip, um,
Yeah.
from the show itself. And it was the scene where he's asking about Ramona, and then he orders a package and then waits for it to come for days so that he can meet her. And the three returning actors from the movie that we heard in this clip, Aubrey Plaza, Kieran Culkin, and of course Michael Cera, all sound good. They're actually voice acting and
Yeah.
playing the characters to suit the medium, especially Michael Cera, who does not sound anything like he usually sounds. So they're all actually, shout out to them as well as the voice director for making sure that these visual actors are actually voice acting and
Right.
not just which is a problem that tends to happen when you have celebrities voice acting is that they just act as if they're acting uh, physically rather than doing it with their voice.
Right. And I think one of my favorite things is that it has like the timing and kind of like lag behind that an old anime dub would have. I don't know what it is about it, but like I've always loved that in older anime and to see it like done in a modern sort of anime esque
Yeah, for
thing.
me,
Just it's just very silly to me.
lip sync is a thing I never notice because in animation the lips never look like real lips, so there's nothing there for me to notice whether it's synced up or not. Like
Right.
it has to be absolutely egregious for me to notice it, so I never notice it. And I every time somebody complains about it, I'm like, "What the hell are you complaining about?" Their mouths go from circles to lines to a bunch of weird shapes that just mouths don't really move at, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Um,
it's like why are you complaining so much?
like the only time I notice it is if it's like CG and it's like realistic, like video game or something like that.
Right.
But yeah, this releases November 17th. I for some reason thought it released today, September 30th. I don't know where I saw that. I don't know if it got delayed or if I was just misinformed. I don't know what happened. I don't know. Maybe I saw something else that came out that was supposed to come out today that confused me. I don't know. But yeah, it comes out November 17th. So we still got some time to wait.
Exciting. Yep.
Um, Pluto. They showed a new trailer for Pluto, an adaptation of a manga of the same name based on the first ever anime, Astro Boy.
Mm.
Specifically, the greatest robot on Earth story arc, and named after the arc's chief villain. Um, it reinterprets the story as a suspenseful murder mystery starring Geishit.
Ooh.
That was a weird way for me to pronounce that.
I was about to say,
Geishit.
there's no way.
That was. Hold on. That was the wildest way I could have pronounced that. Because I remember reading it yesterday going, okay, I have the perfect way to pronounce this. I was going to say Geshit, but for some reason I said gay shit. But anyway, Pluto reinterprets that Astro Boy arc as a suspenseful murder mystery starring Geshit, a Europol robot detective trying to solve the case of a string of robot and human deaths. It releases October 26th this year, and it will consist of 8 hour-long episodes, which
Oh
is a
wow.
rarity when it comes to animation.
Yeah.
Anytime there's something animated and the episodes are longer than 30 minutes, I'm like, wow, that's incredible. Like Arcane episodes are like 40 minutes.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, you ever watch Astro Boy, the
Um.
original?
No, I watched like the movie that came out.
Yeah, the CG movie. I saw that. I got that on
Yeah.
Blu-ray. I have that on Blu-ray. It's on Netflix too. I've been meaning to rewatch it. A lot of people don't like it. I haven't seen it in a while. I liked it, but I watched it when I was a kid, so who knows? My opinion might change.
Yeah.
But
I was about to say I did too, and I didn't have any context for what an Astro Boy was,
yeah,
so I was just
I
like, this movie's
watched the original anime growing up because it played on
fun.
Toonami.
Ah, that'll do it.
So yeah, and like, where is it? Like similar to like samurai movies, how they took inspiration from westerns. Like
Mhm.
Astro Boy took inspiration from like Disney cartoons from back then.
Right.
So it went in a circle of
Yeah.
anime being inspired by Western cartoons and then vice versa. And we're back here, where
Yep.
Netflix has this whole thing full of things that are very much Western animations, but are called anime and are
Yep.
taking a lot of inspiration from anime. But yeah, next is Masters of the Universe Revelations Season 2. I don't know if it was announced before or if this is the official announcement, but they announced it with a clip, which is weird. I feel like if you have enough animation done to show a clip, you could have just given us a trailer. But you know what? They might not have the music and enough voice acting for a trailer, so never mind.
That makes
But yeah, I'm glad there's Season 2. And in this teaser, He-Man is fighting Scareglow with his father. And last season ended with the tease of a She-Ra villain. So I can only hope that they worked out a deal to get her in this show. Because I really like, how are you going to have a sequel to that universe without having She-Ra, who's
right.
such a big part of the universe? And it's because it's a rights thing. And I talked about it in the Barbie episode because
Mhm.
Mattel, I think they have they have the film and TV rights. Well, has
Right.
I think it's Hasbro has the um, toy rights.
Hmm.
It is actually DreamWorks that has the cartoon, TV, and movie rights to She-Ra, and Mattel has the toy rights to both She-Ra and He-Man, and Mattel also has the movie, TV, film rights to He-Man, but not She-Ra. Correction. So yeah, it's it was
Complicated.
a similar thing to like how Sony, Marvel sold Spider-Man to Sony.
Right.
But yeah, moving on to Tomb Raider, the Legend of Lara Croft. I've heard a little bit about this before, but forgot about it. And it's based specifically off the recent Crystal Dynamic trilogy. And
Oh.
the show stars Haley Atwell as the voice of Laura. and will be released sometime in 2024. Haley Atwell not well, she did voice her as well, but she played. Uh, why am I forgetting the character's name? She played the love interest in the first Captain America movie. I can't remember her character's name right now. But yeah, that's interesting. I hope it's good. I like Tomb Raider. I need another good live action Tomb Raider movie. I just need that in my life. Like the creator or the one of the writers on Lovecraft Country. Have you ever watched Lovecraft Country?
I didn't get a chance to, but I heard a lot about it.
I've seen you've heard about it. One of the writers on that, I don't know if she still is. I hope she still is trying to get a Tomb Raider series made for Amazon.
Ooh,
Amazon Prime.
Nice.
So hopefully that happens sometime soon.
Yeah.
Especially since the reason I didn't talk about off top the writer strike endings because it hasn't technically ended because there's still SAG still hasn't gotten what they needed, even though the WGA has. So until SAG does, I'm not going to say the writer strike's ended. Last, they actually didn't show this for some reason. I don't know why. Omnimusha is a video game that I discovered recently, coincidentally, but is also getting an anime adaptation on Netflix.
Ooh, nice.
It's a Capcom game, and it is, at least I believe so. Yeah, it is a Capcom game, and it's a hack and slash survival horror. It's like Resident Evil if you were a samurai. And it came out in the PS2 era, so it also has fixed cameras like the Resident Evil games. So it's very interesting and it looks cool. And there was like a remaster collection released a few years ago. So I've been considering checking it out. And then I randomly discovered that it's getting anime. But the anime is nothing like the games. Because the games, from what I've seen, has like monsters and stuff. But, I mean, it's literally called Onimusha. Oni means demon.
Right.
But this one is more... This has nothing to do with like monsters and demons. It's described as it's directed by Takashi Miike. This ambitious series will focus on Miyamoto Musashi, who is modeled after Toshiro Mifune, the Japanese film icon known around the globe. This is the beginning of an intense series full of realistic action in which Musashi's blade slices through evil as he traverses a land plagued by poverty. This is, I believe, based off of a true story, and they're making the character look like a very famous actor who played that real person in a movie years ago. And I'm like, this is not what I expected after seeing what the game is. So it's very it's a very different direction, but I don't know, it looks interesting. If I hear good things, I'll check it out. But off top, it doesn't interest me because it reminds me too much of Yasuke, which was one of the most disappointing things I've ever seen in my life because I was so hyped. I was like, okay, we got some black anime being written by black people, starring black people. Let's go. And then it was bad.
Dang.
And this has that type of vibe. And I'm not one to hate on CG anime, but this is animated in 3D and it looks all right, but nothing spectacular.
Right. We're spoiled because of Orange. Yeah, that's what it is.
Spoiled by Orange and Mappa.
Yeah.
They spoiled me. Have you still not seen Doridora?
I'm slowly chewing my way through it. Okay. I'm chewing my way through it. Good. What I've watched so far is really good.
I would love for them to stop working on everything else and just make Doridora season 2. I need that in my life. But yeah,
Studio Orange and Land of the Lustrous, like please. I miss my
we're
rock.
Never getting that. We're never getting Beastars. We're never getting a final season of Beastars. We're probably never going to get Beastars until they're finished with Trigun, which I swear to God it better end next season.
Yeah, no, for real though.
Because the way the story of Trigun's going, if it was like next season, they can finish it.
Yeah.
So if they do that, I hope they work on either of those other two afterwards. But yeah,
the manga just got really insane for Land of the Lustrous, and I want to see that in CG.
Cool. But yeah, Onimusha comes out November 2nd.